Hey, what's good, y'all? Actually, you know what? Allow me. Allow me to start by telling you what's not good. And that's getting your wedding ruined by the person who you are expecting to spend the rest of your life with. But it turns out you're gonna have to do a little bit of a rain check on that. In fact, you might as well go to the courthouse the next day and have that shit annulled, like many of these people who you're about to see in this very video had to do, because Dickhead McGee decided they wanted to ruin their very special day that they probably spent tens of thousands of dollars on, months of planning. I mean, let's get real for a second here. We know who the culprit is in this situation. It's the husband who couldn't wait, a few hours for their shenanigans. They had to do it in front of a crowd of people during their special day. And the fact of the matter is, chances of them having contributed anything besides money to the planning and preparation of the wedding quite low. And now I'm somebody who likes to participate and do a lot and stuff like that. So when it came to, my wedding, I'm married, right? I did a decent amount of the planning with my wife. I picked out the band, for instance, and gave them the sheet music that they needed for the songs that we wanted to play, live music anyway. Catering, handled that, all of that good stuff. We picked the venues out together, drove to those locations, all that stuff. So, hey, I was an active participant. Did my wife do a little bit more than I did? Yes. Am I proud of it? No. But to be fair, there's some things where you just don't want to get in the way, because there might be a vision and you might not be much of a visionary like me. So all that like decor stuff and things like that, I kind of kept my hands out of that because, well, I didn't have any helpful inputs when it came to that kind of stuff. But my wife had that covered, so it all worked out in the end. Anyway, the whole reason I'm talking about this is because a lot of weddings have been ruined by just a couple of stupid actions, but they tell you a lot. I mean, just these couple of actions isn't the full story. There's so much more behind the curtain that you're clearly not seeing when somebody's willing to do these really ridiculous and stupid things. And you may have actually saved this person from many, many, many years of potential misery, having to share a life with them, right? Because seriously, some of these people are just insufferable. Now, there's a couple of usually I guess common places or common parts of the itinerary where the weddings get ruined. And it's either A, during the cake cutting. That's like the biggest one. If you're looking into this on TikTok or something, you're going to see a lot of cake cutting catastrophes. Try saying that 3 times fast. That, or it's during like the ceremony where they're doing vows, because for some reason, some of these goofballs, for some reason, can't keep their locker room talk in the locker room and they bring it to their wedding. And that always goes over very well. And then you also have during the dances, for some reason, some of these people get real jiggy with it and then they find themselves on top of their wives. And no, not during their honeymoon, during the dance when they absolutely should not be on top of their wives. But yeah, that's what I meant by that. Now, that doesn't seem to happen too often, but I have come across a couple clips of that, but I just want to throw it out there, just kind of like a little bonus here, because we're really here to talk about mostly the cake cutting and the vows, because that's really where you get the instant annulment and divorces happening, like rapid fire, like any percent speed run to divorce, like they're trying to accomplish something here. But this is also one that I've seen happen a few times where for some reason the groom here wants to do some kind of prank, something real silly, get everybody smiling and laughing, everybody except the bride and anybody with a brain and common sense. And in this case, he decides, I'm going to drop my wife into this pool of water here, ruin her makeup, ruin her dress, basically ruin her entire day, because that seems like a smart thing to do.
Ready? يلا جاهز انزل بيها 3 2 1 يلا 3 2 1 يلا اوعى تسيب عريس وراها بقى يا شاب وراها هتجيبها خش
I know some of you might have noticed it too. Looks like maybe they were having a good time. She had a little bit of a smile on her face. No, trust me when I say this, she was not having a good time. And I don't think dude here really gave that much of a shit. I mean, he wasn't even like looking at her. He was looking at like everybody else, like, ah, see what I did? Isn't that funny? Isn't that hilarious? Aren't I awesome? Aren't I great? Aren't I amazing? I'm such a great, awesome, wonderful dude. You see what I just did to my wife? I'm amazing. This is what our life is gonna be like, by the way. This is just great. No, I imagine she was fucking fuming, probably seeing red, but tried to play it off because, you know, there's a crowd of people there. And so he jumps in with her, you know, obviously they're so silly and so quirky and so funny, and he wants to make sure everything seems totally fine, you know? It's okay, guys, it's just a joke, it's a big game, you know? Um, have you matured past the age of 7? I need to ask, but like, do you have some sort of stunted growth in the brain department? Because this is child behavior. This is not adult behavior. It's can't you save that for a different occasion? Not your once in a lifetime, well, should be once in a lifetime event known as your wedding, right? It's kind of like not the time and place to do this. Haven't you ever played the Pokemon games and you try to like ride a bicycle inside of a convenience store and it tells you, no, this isn't the time and place for that, and it stops you from doing it and you have to ride your bike outside? It's like that, you know? I figured we kind of have to, you know, dumb things down a little bit for people with these types of pea brains to really understand. And yeah, terrible, terrible idea. You know, my wedding was almost ruined too, but no fault of my own. Don't you glare at me. It wasn't me. I wasn't doing any stupid stunts, okay? I didn't think that it'd be funny to like drive my car at my wife and see if she'd jump out of the way or something, you know, crazy like that. No, actually what happened was we woke up to two very problematic calls, I guess is the best way to put it. Well, I guess it wasn't actually a call, it was a text. And the first text was from my wife's makeup person who said, hey, I'm in the hospital, so I'm not going to be able to make it. Sorry. And of course, yeah, as you'd imagine, my wife didn't take that very, very kindly. But luckily, we were able to find a replacement in time. Now, as you know, we were finding the replacement, everyone's kind of like, you know, freaking out and all that, but trying to keep our composure because that would have been a real serious issue had that not worked out, obviously. Our goddamn hair person texted or whatever saying that, hey, my car's not working. Yeah, so cool. That's awesome. But anyway, they eventually were able to get their car to work or got a different car or something. They found a way to get there at the end of the day. So it all ended up working out, thank goodness, but it almost didn't. So we almost had our wedding ruined too. So I can kind of feel, you know, some of those frustrations, you know, mostly through obviously what my wife was going through in the morning, but you get the idea. I mean, come on, dude. Are you kidding me right now? Now, like I said, this is one of many I've seen just like this. And let me just say, I don't think happiness was in the room with us here because I can see not a shred, not a semblance of happiness on her face when this happened. And gee, I wonder fucking why. Maybe it has something to do with the fact that dipshit McGee decided to dip her head into this purple ass cake and got that all over her hair and her face. I mean, maybe that's the reason why we can't detect any sign of happiness coming from her, which is really, really disappointing, knowing that this is obviously their wedding day, something that she, her family, and friends had probably spent, you know, months planning, 90% of the work probably, assuming this dude was probably just sitting at home playing Xbox, and then just shows up and absolutely shits on the day. The only thing good that likely came out of this was I'm sure she hopped her very unhappy ass to the courtroom the next day and decided to get this shit annulled. Because otherwise she'd have to spend the rest of her life, well, not necessarily, but that'd be the plan, with this absolute degenerate loser. I thought we left this childish behavior, you know, I don't know, in grade 7, grade 4 even maybe. I mean, this guy is all giddy and stuff and happy and cheering like a chimpanzee or a 3-year-old who discovered their shit for the very first time. Like, this is not a grown man we're talking about here. This is a grown child. I don't even know if grown is the appropriate word there, but I'm sure you catch my drift here. I mean, at this point in your life, you would expect, the frontal lobe to be fully developed by now. Apparently his just left the call or something, or was on vacation that day, because it definitely was not present during this interaction. I just don't understand how you can't just leave. Like, if you're gonna do stupid pranks or, dumb stuff like that, maybe that's a part of your relationship, fine. Why can't you save it for a more opportune time? Because this clearly isn't it. It's almost like you have to hold these people's hands like this, like they're an actual child. Sit them down, dumb this whole thing down, and be like, hey, don't do this to your wife on your wedding day. Like, that's a really dumb thing. Now, there's people I know who have literally had to tell their partners not to do this type of dumb shit, which is just baffling to me, because you think it was common sense, but common sense has also left the chat because it was not present in the room here. And I also just have to point out that she looked kind of just terrified, like disappointed, like heartbroken, scared, like just in shock, didn't know how to react to this. I mean, that slow, hesitant, high five that she gave to him. Well, obviously he was holding up his hands first, because, he was giddy like a little 5-year-old at this, like a literal child. And she is like, I can't believe this just happened. Like, this really just happened right now, and she's still trying to process it. Like, this is sad. I really hope that she hightailed it out of there, got far, far away from him, and never, ever looked back, because this is not a good sign. If he thinks this is a smart, okay, good thing to do to you on your wedding day, then he has a lot of growing up to do. So dipshit McGee, the third coming, has decided to throw the entire cake at her. I have a suggestion for you, sister. Throw the whole man away. How about we do that? Because I think that's the perfect get back. Wouldn't that just be so hilarious? Just like how him throwing that whole cake was so funny. We got a nice, hearty, giddy little laugh out of that. Wouldn't it be so hilarious if we just threw him away? Just goodbye, Just like how we did to that cake. Because in what world is that funny? What world is that a good idea? There's people laughing about this. And I'm sitting here like, are you all 12? Because this would have me horrified. I would be scared for her. I'd be scared for her family, like anybody who is welcoming this douchebag into their lives. Clearly he's got like anger problems, because I think she started it with like a little, cute little cake thing, something very gentle. And then he's like, oh, okay, so that's how it's going to be. You're going to disrespect me like that, and picks up the whole cake and throws it at her. Like, what's next? Like, you going to start throwing other things when you're at home? Like, where does this end? Because I feel like this is a precursor to something much worse, genuinely. So this is another situation where I think the only correct move, is to hightail it out of there, go to a judge or however this is done, get that shit annulled, and never see him again. That is my advice. Can I just get a round of applause for dipshit McGee, the fourth coming? Is that where we're at now? The fourth coming of dipshit McGee? This guy does something very similar to the previous one. Just destroys the entire cake. And this time, for what? Like, literally no reason. I mean, the previous one didn't really have a good reason either. Let's be honest. There is never a good reason to do that. But what is the reason here? I don't even understand. Like, does he not know how to cut a cake? Because that's what they're doing. They're cutting the cake, and he just Hulk smashes it. Like, he doesn't have like a brain in that head of his. He's just like an ape running on instinct or something. In fact, I think an ape would have better understanding of the situation and know not to destroy the cake. Let's be real honest here. I really think that a silverback gorilla would be much more civilized in this situation than this absolute turbo douchebag. And he's just an example of many. We're going to wrap up the whole cake thing with just one last one, which I think might even be the worst of them all. Honey, keep walking and don't look back. You are doing the correct thing. That is the only correct reaction to this. Walk away, don't look back, get in your car, go home. Wake up next morning, go to the judge, get that shit annulled. Um, Anyway, so in case you missed it, it looks like he takes a little taste out of the cake, and she gets on him about the like, hey, you weren't supposed to do that sort of thing. That's what it seems like to me. Now, there's some people in the comments saying like she probably shouldn't have bothered with that either, but like it seems like maybe it was something they talked about. Who knows? You don't know the full story. Either way, like I don't think that's nearly as bad as what he did. I think confronting him right then and there, maybe not the best time and place to do that, but at the end of the day, it's probably not that big of a deal, even if, it's clearly something she didn't want to happen, but it's something that could have been saved, potentially. Which, again, I'm not putting the blame on her for, standing up for obviously being disrespected in that way where he wasn't supposed to do that or whatever it is. But his reaction is telling. It tells all. It tells all that he is not fit to be anybody's husband. This dude needs to figure himself out and get himself, like, straight, because this is a clear example of a very, very short fuse into just full-blown crash out baby rage anger. This is the kind of person who would absolutely go home with you and smack you across the face if you say something he doesn't like. 100%, I believe that wholeheartedly from this clip, because that cake, first off, looked very fucking expensive. And all she did was it clearly express that she didn't want him doing that. And instead of being like, oh, I'm sorry, like a rational human being would do, someone who's not absolutely out of their mind and completely insane, he just throws the entire cake. Just the entire thing. It's just, why would you do that? Like, I can't even think of a reason why that ever makes sense, and if that's how your relationship's going to be, if she disagrees with something that you do and you're just going to lash out like this, then you're not stable. You are not like in a good enough mind space to be able to handle being in a committed, serious relationship. And this wedding day tells all, and I hope she kept walking. I hope she never looked back, and I hope she never saw this guy again. But who knows? And let me just say, I'm not convinced that she was in her right state of mind when she agreed to marry this douchebag. I don't know exactly what happened, but I'm assuming maybe some Xanax and some cocaine might have been in the room with us when she agreed to marry this fucking lunatic, because how else could this have happened? Now, honestly, this next clip, I don't really think is all that bad. I just think it's a little bit bizarre, I guess, but this is one of those like kind of to each their own situations. Here's what you guys think about it. Just watch.
That is so cool.
So he pulls up to the ceremony in a boat with his pastor. Now, again, doesn't seem that bad. Personally, I feel very conflicted about it. It's one of those things where it's like, is this necessary? But at the same time, it's like I kind of get wanting to do something extravagant, something really cool, because it's, a wedding's a one-time thing, right? Should be anyway for most people. And so yeah, maybe you want to do something cool and fun like this, and if your wife thought it was fine and cool and y'all had no problems with it, then nothing to complain about. But if this was one of those surprise things where she didn't know beforehand, and didn't agree to it, then I think you're a jackass. Now, the caption says, late night finds, but it's just my ex-husband pulling up late to our wedding with the pastor listening to Fortunate Son. Now, considering it's an ex-husband now, um, and they were late, something tells me that this probably wasn't agreed upon, probably didn't know this was happening, and probably wasn't happy about it either. Now, for my wedding, we wanted to do something interesting and cool and different, which of course this is something we agreed on. It was my suggestion, and my wife was totally cool with it, and we made it happen. We brought karaoke to our weddings because I like to sing, and my sister is a singer, and I have other family members that sing, like my uncle who did sing as well. And yeah, like it was really cool and it was really neat and I thought it was awesome. Like I set it up myself and everything, like a projector with like a speaker karaoke thing and like my laptop and like I literally handled all that. It was super cool and awesome and I'm really happy about it to this day. Um well, yeah, we had like agreed upon that, you know. My wife also sang a song too. It was nice. It was really nice. And one of the reasons I want to do this is I'm not much of a dancing person. Now, obviously, I did dance because it was my obligation, but I wanted to also do something fun that I enjoyed personally. So that's why we had that going, and I thought that was really cool and fun. Anyway, enough about me and more about these absolute degenerate goofballs. Now we've got the wedding speech disasters. These, I don't even know what to call them, these looking man children who think it's so funny to talk about, you know, sexualizing their wife in front of their family and friends and have nothing else to say for their vows. It's just embarrassing. Almost forgot. Before we see those ones, there's also this guy who thinks he's a comedian, but the thing about being a comedian is that typically you have to be funny, and he completely missed that part. I guess he didn't get the memo, and he just ended up embarrassing himself and his wife, but mostly himself.
Tonight we are here to celebrate us. And I look good. You alright?
I mean, should I even give him a response outside of just this disappointed reaction? Is there? I mean, should I even say anything? No, I don't think he deserves that. I think the silence speaks for itself.
But most importantly, you are the love of my life. You make me happier than I could ever imagine, and more love than I ever thought possible. You have made me a better person. I've even changed my career, becoming a pipe fitter, to better support you and to make sure I master all the tips of how to lay the pipe, baby.
You're fucking kidding me. Oh God. Why? Just like, just why? Like, why? What compels you to say this? Just fucking got it. All right, next clip.
Promise to smack ass every chance I get. That's all I got.
Is that it? Come on, Cody. Are you sure?
I didn't write nothing down.
That's what you're going out with?
That's what I'm going
All right,
with.
Cool.
We've made it this long.
Got it. It's really all you got, huh? That's all you're good for. This one really, really trash, useless, garbage statement, huh? That should have been I would say left in the thought pile, but it shouldn't even made it there. Cause like, dude, why? Why? You added no value at all. The point where the fucking officiant here is even like, come on, like seriously, that's it. Like nothing else you can say. And he's just like, yeah, couldn't even think of anything on the fly. You know, after that embarrassing moment, couldn't have like used your brain. I guess you can't use it if you don't have one, but use something to improvise on the spot to maybe save face just a little bit. You know, say something heartwarming, say something sweet. Be like, you know what? I promise to take care of you and be there for you and just provide everything I can as your future husband, as your partner, as your soulmate, and to nurture our relationship, something like that. Just anything, so that when people watch this footage or whatever in your wedding video or something, that there's something redeemable about this moment. But no, you couldn't even be bothered to do that. So disappointing. Well, there's one other clip I want to show you guys. This is a very shocking to say the least, but it's a little extra one I wanted just to kind of throw in there because it's just bad. I mean, this guy literally like smacks his wife. I couldn't even believe it when I saw it, but apparently this shit happens. Okay, first off, who put this trash? I know we heard this song a million times throughout these videos, but I feel like here it's like extra inappropriate because there was literally an attack that happened here. Like, this is no laughing matter. It's not a joke. This isn't fucking funny. There's nothing to laugh about here at all. This is just disgusting. And I'm like really concerned about this one because this looks like something that probably has already happened multiple times before. It looked way too casual for him. That was his first instinct was, oh, you messed with me, you disrespected me, I'm gonna smack you right here and now. Like, what the fuck is that, dude? I can't even believe this, you know? But I would say the one good thing that comes out of this is that everybody witnessed it, which means that, hey, if she wants to get this shit annulled, get away from him, get a restraining order or something like that, it ain't gonna be hard to prove her case, you know, that he's a violent asshole who quite literally assaulted her on her wedding day, and then she can get far away from this douchebag and never see him again. That's kind of what I hope for in many of these situations is the end result. I hope that's not wishful thinking, but I know some people tend to stay with people who do this to them because, you know, whatever type of leverage they might have on them when it comes to like financial things or kids maybe, or who knows what else. But there's so many challenges when it comes to just up and leaving your partner. So I imagine that they may face them, many of these people who are involved in these situations, but all we can do is hope for the best and that these things, you know, turned out for the best for, you know, as many of those involved as possible. Anyway, that's really all I got for you guys today. See you all next time.